Hello and welcome to the post-January USDA report webinar from Progressive Ag. My name is Peter Kemp and I'm an attorney with Progressive Ag Law. Joining me today is Ray Grabansky, president of Progressive Ag Law, and Derek Merman from the Merman Law Firm in Houston, Texas. Ray, what can you tell us about the January report and what action should farmers take in light of it?
Bullish, in one word. The USDA lowered corn yields, 0.9 bushel, not a lot, but most people thought it would increase. They lowered the soybean yield, 0.3 bushels. Most people thought it would increase. Still a record yield in soybeans, the second largest yield ever in corn. Ending stocks, corn up 17 million bushel in spite of the cut. So that is not bullish. Corn is still up 8 cents today, which is surprising to me. I thought we'd be up maybe a penny or two on this. But obviously a lot of people were waiting to buy this report, because this is the last report for 2015 and prices already stink. We're going to lose, probably 80 cents a bushel at current price levels on planting the 2016 crop. So this is probably the bottom, but we're not going to go up fast. We're probably going to sit here for 3 months and do nothing. And there's going to be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth by bankers and farmers all winter long, because you're looking at a 60, 70, 80 cents a bushel loss. So we've got some slides here, I guess, of the report. Is there a place I can see them as you show them? The corn, I talked already about the corn yield. I think that's the first slide, and the corn yield was down 0.9 bushel, so a little friendly. The corn ending stocks was up 17 million to 1.8 billion. That actually isn't very friendly, but obviously they cut demand somewhere to end up raising ending stocks when the production was cut. The soybean yield is a graphic as well. The yield down 0.3 bushels, still at 48 bushel. That is still a record yield. So basically, the soybean ending stocks down 25 million bushel to 440. 440, my friends, is still a very, very big number. So as far as price projections, like I said, prices will be bad for the next 3 months. Even though we're up 8 cents in corn today and 17 cents in soybeans right now, that doesn't make a lot of difference. That is your reaction to the report, which was a smaller yield than expected. But that is the reaction. It's probably done. We're going to sit here for 3 months. We're going to do nothing. We might fluctuate up a dime, down a dime, here and there. The best thing you can do right now, if you're short calls or short the market, sell puts. Sell puts, or buy futures, anytime in the next 3 months, and you're just fine. So that would be a quick summary. By April 1st, prices will probably start to go up slowly, and I think by next January at this time, corn prices will be 50 to 70 cents higher, but it's not going to start till April 1st, and soybean prices will probably be $1 or more higher than they are, but that price rise won't start till April 1st. A lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth all winter by bankers and farmers.
Well, thank you for that report, Ray, and we're disappointed to hear the news, but we're going to turn now to some more good information for farmers to take in. And we're going to direct our attention to Derek Merman from the Merman Law Firm in Houston, Texas. Derek, you are a part of the Syngenta lawsuit, and could you give us some more information about that?
Sure, absolutely. For the last, I'd say year or so, I've been traveling through the Midwest, hosting informational meetings for producers, just getting the word out about Syngenta. There's been a lot of misinformation that's been spread around, and I'm just trying to get the most current and factual information that I can in front of the producers.
And many of you have heard about the GMO corn litigation. Syngenta produced the GMO Viptera corn seed, which was marketed to U.S. farmers who are supplying both domestic and international markets, including China. While Syngenta made assurances that Chinese regulators were going to approve the GMO Viptera corn, China in fact had a no-tolerance policy and effectively closed their markets to U.S. corn after discovering Viptera traits in imported corn. These actions damaged the U.S. corn market, and many farmers are taking action to recover their losses. Progressive Ag Law has partnered with Phipps Anderson Deacon, who have experienced litigating GMO market closures, as this short video will explain.
My name is Martin Phipps, and I am from the great big town of Breckenridge, Texas. I grew up in a town I like to tell people had 3 stoplights. Those values you bring from a small town, being honest, telling the truth, and standing up and believing in something, is something that we do here at our firm.
I'm Barry Deacon. I'm originally from Arkansas, grew up in a family law firm. Farming's been a big part of my professional life in representing farmers and agricultural related entities my entire practice.
You may ask, why hire Phipps Anderson and Deacon? The best answer I give you is because we are so proud to represent farmers that it's the most important thing when you walk into our building and see what we do.
Part of my background was being involved in representing a co-op of rice farmers against bare crop science in the rice litigation that began in 2006. With my background in the rice litigation, that's important because that was genetically modified rice that was being experimentally tested that contaminated the U.S. rice crops. That litigation is very, very similar to the Syngenta corn litigation where an unapproved trait was marketed to China.
What you're going to find out in this case is when Syngenta released Viptera to sell to you, they hadn't even applied to China for approval. Because of that, they took a risk, and that risk ended with you losing the China market. When you're choosing a lawyer to represent you in the Syngenta litigation, every lawyer is going to tell you that they're the best. We don't have to say anything to you. We just want you to look at our record. We are the lawyers who tried and won the rice case. We're the lawyers that developed the damage models. We're the lawyers that got the punitive damage verdicts. The rice case settled for $750 million. I'm very proud to tell you that my farmers, the people that I represented, got $50 million more than everybody else. We get asked every day, is this going to be a class action? And I want to make the answer real clear. We're not class action lawyers. We represent individual farmers against Syngenta and other big companies. And why do we do that? Because class actions don't help the clients. They only help the lawyers. Each one of you farm differently. Each one of your damages are different. So what we believe is we're going to represent you individually and not like some class action lawyer.
We are certainly not against the technology that Syngenta has come up with in producing their seed. We're actually for that technology because it's good for the American farmer. What we have a fault with is what Syngenta has done in marketing its corn. It's done it in an irresponsible way, and that has affected all of us.
I don't know about you, but we need more places to sell our corn, not less. And so all we're asking Syngenta to do is to stand up and do the right thing. The same thing you do every day when anybody comes to you with an issue. You may ask what makes us different at Phipps Anderson Deacon. The answer is simple, is we care. I've been on a combine and I know how hard it is to farm. And because I'm gonna make sure when I get done with this case and I come and sit in your living room, that you're proud that I'm your lawyer.
So our team, which was put together by Martin Phipps and James Lee, is prepared to represent all of the producers, not just those who grow Syngenta seed, in conjunction with law firms like Progressive Ag and the Merman Law Firm to bring a local connection with the producers. We take all of these cases on a contingency fee basis, and it's a case where the producer has to be proactive about their rights or no one is going to help them.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for that information, Derek and Ray, about the report. This time we're going to answer a few questions regarding the Syngenta lawsuit as well as the crop report. So the first question I have is for Derek. So Derek, what's been happening with the Syngenta litigation? Do you have any updates?
Well, it's still fairly early in the litigation. Suits have been filed in Kansas City and Minnesota. Our group, after a lot of thought, have decided to file our suits in Illinois. We think we've gotten some really good rulings there. We think we're going to have a favorable venue. We think we're going to have a jury pool that is sympathetic to the corn farmer, which is essential in this kind of case. So while we don't know what's going to happen in the future months, we do have a good ground plan. We think we're going to be able to execute it well, and we think we've got the right team in place to really maximize recovery for the corn farmer.
How far are we in Illinois? How far are we as far as getting that actual case set in time?
Well, it's brand new. They've just been consolidated. The cases have just been consolidated in Illinois. So a lot of pretrial things have to occur. What will happen is certain producers will be selected as bellwether cases, most likely. Those will set the values that will be used to negotiate the rest of the cases. I can't stress enough how blessed we feel we are to have gotten our cases in Illinois, specifically because of that jury pool, because we think the venue is going to be so favorable for us.
That sounds good. What about Syngenta? What have they been doing as these cases have been brought?
Well, you know, Syngenta's been busy too. They're preparing a defense in Illinois as well as in Kansas City and Minnesota. They're fighting the battle on several fronts. They have filed and lost several motions to dismiss. They're really firing with both barrels. They've sued Cargill and ADM and other grain dealers. They've claimed that others other than Syngenta are responsible for the drop in corn prices. Obviously, we think that Syngenta bears the majority of the responsibility because they made the decision to market this corn without China's approval. We believe that was a conscious decision, but they're certainly trying to point the fingers in a lot of directions as well.
That's really similar to the rice GMO case, right? Was it Bayer Crop Science that was in that case? But it's very similar. And didn't the rice farmers win $750 million on 2.5 million acres of rice?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, one thing that we find just so helpful in this case is that we have a blueprint in the Bayer Liberty rice case with the exact same fact pattern. It was a GMO rice. It was released without the approval of all the countries that import our rice. And not only do we have the blueprint, but the architect of the blueprint, Martin Phipps, is our lead litigator. So not only do we have the map, we have the map maker. And that's really helpful in a case that is factually nearly identical to the Syngenta case, just on a much larger scale, because what we do better in the United States, better than anyone in the world, is grow corn. And that's not in dispute.
And Martin Phipps seems to litigate GMO cases better than anybody else.
That's true.
Track record.
It's a narrow niche. There are not a lot of lawyers that focus in that kind of law, but Martin is one of the best, if not the very best. He certainly has the track record.
Ray, do you have any other final comments about the USDA report or any other actions?
Don't sell, guys. It's too late to sell. We've bottomed the market, and we might sit here, you know, plus or minus 10 cents in corn for the next 3 months, but sell puts, liquidate your short positions, get ready to get long. If you feed cattle, buy, buy, buy. And, you know, in Ecclesiastes, they talk about for everything there is a season, a time to live, a time to die, a time to, you know, a lot of different things. Read it, it's great reading. But there's also, Ray Grabansky at Progressive Ag would like to add, there's a time to buy and there's a time to sell. And now is not the time to sell. Buy now, buy, the next 3 months.
Well, thank you for that information, Ray, and thank each and every one of you for tuning in to our webinar. Please join us again after the February USDA report. If you have questions or would like more information, please call the number on your screen or visit progressiveaglaw.com. Thank you for watching.